This evening, EU to give City Hall some TLC. New political party hopes to be new third force. Today's edition of Person of the Week. In the region, in Trinidad and Tobago, PSA responds to over 3,000 OSHA violations. And internationally, parents evict 30-year-old son from home.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Today is Wednesday, May the 23rd, 2018, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. The Alliance for Change has renewed calls for a re-examination of marijuana laws following the sentencing of 27-year-old poultry farmer Carl Mangle for possession of 8 grams of marijuana. In a press release issued last evening, the AFC explained that it is not questioning the judgment of the magistrate, rather the validity of the law itself. The AFC claims that the custodial sentences for small amounts of marijuana serves to criminalize young people, calling it, quote, an offense which is a mere error in judgment and not representative of criminal behavior. The AFC originally campaigned on a platform of decriminalization. In 2015, AFC Member of Parliament Michael Carrington brought a bill to the National Assembly for debate, but it has been deferred ever since. Dissatisfied with the current state of politics in Guyana, one man has started his own political party. Wendell Jeffrey was at the grand launching of the DNC and filed this report.
Okay, folks, I think it's about time we started. 10 minutes after 1. I pledge myself to honor always the flag of Guyana and to be loyal to my country, to be obedient to the laws of Guyana, to love my fellow citizens, and to dedicate myself towards the energy and prosperity of Guyana, to work for the prosperity of Guyana.
That was Craig Sylvester, and he is the presidential candidate for his party, the Democratic National Congress, DNC. Today, at the National Library's conference room, Sylvester sat alone at a table. As he began, he addressed members of the head table and representatives of the local and international organizations, even though I was the only other person there.
Today, we have a big challenge ahead of us, and this concerns our future, right? It is something that I think all Guyanese need to pay attention to and take stock of, because what we can't escape from is what is unfolding for us as our future. Okay, so let me get into my presentation, and any questions we'll ask subsequently. Okay, to the members of the head table, representatives of local and international organizations, my fellow Guyanese, welcome to the official launch of the Democratic National Congress. We will be contesting the 2020 national elections to form a full government under the theme Bringing Guyana into the 21st Century. The Democratic National Congress was formed to respond to the growing threat of the repetition of failed politics and policies of Guyana's 2 major political parties. In this regard, we have formulated a set of principles and policies which we feel is reflective of the desires of all Guyanese.
Then he read his entire manifesto, which was very well put together and included matters of investment, the productivity sector, the DNC's contract with Guyana, and an agenda for the party's first 100 days in office.
Investment will be targeted in 4 areas: our citizens, government services, our communities, and the productive sector.
Channel 2 Headline News was the only media house represented for this 1 p.m. start of the party's launch. After Mr. Sylvester was finished with his presentation, he allowed for questions. On the issue of the marijuana matter, the DNC's presidential candidate said this.
What we intend to do is based on the experience of America, for example, seek to repeal laws which impose charges of 3 years service on the use of minimal, or the holding or the use of minimal amounts of marijuana.
Asked about the sedition clause in the new cybercrime bill, Sylvester said,
My position on that clause is that it really is very poor reflection of the the confidence of its government in its policies towards us as a people. They are very insecure, and they have a right to be, because the policies have failed before, they are failing now, and they will fail us in the future, which is why I'm saying that Guyana has to be very concerned about our elections in 2020.
Who is financing the party?
Well, currently the finance of the party is being financed by myself and my colleague, right, who is a businessman and I think prefers to remain so at this point in time. This is why I am here by myself.
Sylvester also addressed the poll showing today.
We have our major political parties, the PNC coalition and the PPP, and most of our news media, right, our television stations, are either for one or the other. So with a third party like myself, which has comprehensive ideas and policies which are workable and which Guyanese will accept, this kind of information they will not want the Guyanese public to hold. So this is why we are seeing something of a news blackout in the traditional media.
So you're saying that even if you have an executive that votes in a democratic way, you would not accept a vote for you not to be the presidential candidate?
Well, the executive that will be formed currently with me as a presidential candidate will accept me as the presidential candidate.
And what if they don't?
Well, if they don't, well, then they are free to form their own party. But what I will say is that my commitment to to Guyanese and this party and the executives of this party when it is formed is that I will see the change of the constitution through, and after that, then I will release the presidency to maybe even more capable hands.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. City Hall will soon receive some much-needed rehabilitation with the assistance of the European Union. Esther Sobers tells us more in this report.
For years, the Mayor and City Council complained about the state of City Hall, which posed many safety concerns. However, the municipal employees continued their work with only substandard works being done to the building. However, today was announced that the building is expected to receive restoration work funded by the European Union in collaboration with the National Trust of Guyana. Though the restoration process is only in its first phase, specialist and conservation architect Francis Maud has already started inspection and assessment of the works needed.
In order again to find exactly what can be brought to the project by the existing people of Georgetown and of Guyana, and it's a lot. I know you can bring a lot to this project. We also visited municipal archives in order to learn more about the history and development of the building in a report that's already been prepared. And on our return to the UK, we worked on the reports to support the findings that we had done.
Ambassador of the European Union delegation to Guyana, Jerne Vedetek, expressed his pleasure in the European Union partnering in the rehabilitation project. They will also be compiling a comprehensive restoration plan and sustainable comprehensive management plan, which will help in aid in assisting to restore monumental buildings.
It is my sincere hope that we will be able to share a completed plan by the end of July 2018. And I would like to add that this plan will set the benchmark to enable a transfer of know-how on how to correctly restore other monuments of historical and symbolic value in Guyana.
Quite excited about the future plans ahead for City Hall, Mayor Patricia Chase Green spoke about her experience working in a deteriorating building.
After many, many years of patience, and somebody spoke about the patience that we've been having at City Hall for this restoration, we have started this morning, and I'm happy, I'm excited. The 1st of July will mark 129 years for City Hall as a building. I, as an individual, would have been in occupational use of that building since 1994. And I've watched it deteriorate as a child, like if you have a child that is dying and there is no treatment for it. And so today I am happy that there is treatment for City Hall.
The rehabilitation work is expected to cost over 44 million Guyana dollars. City Hall will be engaging other stakeholders for further funding. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Don't go away. Coming up after the break, NSC honors the nation's athletes and today's edition of Person of the Week. But first, here's today's foreign currency exchange rates. For the latest in news from Guyana, the region, and beyond, visit our website, headlinenewsguyana.com.
It's always fresh, tasty, enticing, and the best in town, served hot from our experienced chefs. Come and enjoy our daily meals with a wide and delicious menu to choose from, also a wide variety of pastries and dessert. We can also host your luncheons, cocktails, parties, and formal gathering. For reservation, call 225-1730, 225-0038, and delivery 225-0195 or 225-0159. The new thriving Chinese restaurant, 32 Main Street, Georgetown.
For all your floor covering needs, Kissoon's has you covered. From wall-to-wall carpets, runners, rugs in all sizes and designs, mats for all entranceways, vinyl and rubber tiles too. And with our vast stock and knowledge, you're guaranteed to find your floor covering solution with us. We provide free estimates, and did I mention we install too? Like I said, we've got you covered. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
The Ministry of Public Health presents Health Expo 2018 under the theme Reaching for a Better Life with Good Health. Starting Wednesday, May 30th to Saturday, June 2nd at the Sophia Exhibition Center. Catch the big opening night ceremony on Wednesday 30th from 17 hours and gates open from 15 hours to 22 hours daily except on Friday, June 1st at 10 a.m. for school children. Enjoy free medical and dental checkups, blood pressure and diabetes testing, nutrition counseling, and many more. Admission is absolutely free and the entire family is invited. Don't miss out.
Welcome back. The National Sports Commission honored those who excelled in the field of sports in Guyana. BB Backus was at the award ceremony last night and filed this report.
Last night, the National Sports Commission held their annual award ceremony to recognize those who excel in the field of sports in Guyana. The persons honored that night were selected from those who best represented Guyana both locally and abroad. The commission honored differently able athletes, senior athletes, and sports journalists. The NSC even took the time to recognize the corporate sponsors that funded the nation's various sporting leagues. The special guest for the occasion was Troy Doris, gold medal winner of the triple jump event during this year's Commonwealth Games. Minister of Social Cohesion with responsibility for sports, Dr. George Norton, encouraged awardees to uphold the qualities of champions. He also noted the current shortfall in Guyana's sporting environment. As such, he reaffirmed the government's commitment to the advancement of the field.
There's much work to be done to further develop our country's sporting landscape. Improvement to existing facilities, the construction of new facilities across the length and breadth of Guyana, assurance of access to these facilities, enhancement of the service provided in a safe, secure, and entertaining environment.
Over 57 athletes, clubs, and others within the field were recognized. The NSC was founded by an Act of Parliament in 1993. The governmental agency was funded with the express goal of promoting sports in Guyana. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, BB Backus.
Thanks, BB. In today's edition of Person of the Week, we introduce gospel singer, radio, and TV personality, Kester D.
Well, that was the starting point of my journey. But where I am today is a whole different ballgame.
Kester Mortimer Dean was born August 21st, 1972 in Gibraltar, Cortland, Quarantine, Berbice. He was the fifth of 12 children of Rudolph and Myrtle Dean. Despite his respectable upbringing, he early on took to a life of crime. The crimes he committed in his youth eventually caught up with him.
I did 4 years prison sentence, which caused me to really think, because, when you serve in a lengthy sentence like that, where I served the time was in New Amsterdam Penitentiary or prison. When you do a 4 year sentence, normally they take you to Mazruni. But I was able, maybe by the favor of God, God was doing what he was doing since then, without me realizing what God was doing.
But his story doesn't end there. In fact, he credits this as the beginning.
I pick my car and read my Psalms, and I tell you, no lie, I crammed the whole Psalms. The whole Psalms back then, within 6 months. I know the Psalms. And with that, I'm able to put words from the Bible into reality with some of my struggles, into writing, and make songs in prison.
While in prison, he wrote songs and even a semi-autobiographical play entitled Moonarun Till Day Ketchum. When he was released from prison, he stayed with the family for over 5 years. It was this experience that showed him just how much God was working in him.
And that's my test. Never for the 5 year period trouble anything from the Simple Father. That's how I know God really changed this brother. These hands no more gravitated to things that is not mine.
Since then, he has collaborated with some of the biggest names in Guyanese gospel. In fact, many of them credit him for bringing gospel to the forefront of entertainment. When
I started in the church, reggae dancehall was not known within the body. I started that trend, Now today, I could safely say majority of the young people, they can sing reggae, sing hip-hop, sing soca, because somebody would have paved the way for them to do that now.
His biggest achievement, however, is probably his TV show, You Are Not a Mistake.
The mere fact that I am doing this program is to challenge young, rejected, discouraged, black sheep, whatever, things that I suffered back then. I want to reach out to those people who are suffering those things now, because I would have been there, I know how it feels, and I know how you can get out of it. And so I'm using my influence to help those persons, and that is if they want to be helped, to help them get out of that.
This morning, the Private Sector Commission held a workshop to discuss corporate governance. Wendell Jeffrey has more in this report.
Denise Diowarine is the CEO of the Caribbean Corporate Governance Institute in Trinidad and Tobago. Yesterday, she sat down with Channel 2 Headline News for an exclusive interview. I asked her what occasioned her organization.
Scandals that were happening not just internationally but also on a domestic level. Without wanting to call any names, I'm sure you'd know about certain financial institutions that would have gone into some challenges. And the founding board recognized that we can either continue to speak about the problems or we can form or be part of a solution-oriented ecosystem.
Diowarine said that her organization's ambition is to help the entire Caribbean.
Our ambition is to serve the Caribbean, and that was echoed in terms of the board composition. So we would have had our board, the initial board would have had persons from the British Virgin Islands, Barbados, St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago as well. And this time we also have a board member from Guyana.
Her board is multifaceted. She also said that getting governments involved in good corporate governance is a slow process.
So we have directors from the banking industry, who again is a major stakeholder in corporate governance and any economy, Guyana, Trinidad, Barbados as well. We have Mr. Duku, as I would have mentioned. We have persons from the insurance sector as well, equally important stakeholder in good governance. It's a slow process with regard to government, we have approached the government to be involved in a code. This is in Trinidad and Tobago, a code for state-owned enterprises.
Diorwarine said that lowering the scandal and corruption in organizations is actualized when the directors understand their fiduciary responsibilities.
By the importance of directors recognizing their fiduciary responsibility, and that is embedded in the Companies Act. So what we have tried to do is bring awareness about this duty that directors have to exercise good care with regard to discharging their duty.
I asked if there was a way to evaluate the participating companies for their adherence to the ethics of her organization.
When it comes to an organization, as it does with governance, one size doesn't fit all. So right now we do have the corporate governance code, and it would list 5 principles that a company can follow to build their corporate governance structure. But how I may do it may be very different to, let's say, how another company may do it. Does it make one better than the other? No. It really just depends on the type of sector, their client, their strategy, their culture. So it really is, it's a bit difficult, I suppose, to manage.
The visiting governance specialist shared her take on Guyana's trajectory and her desire in this regard.
On a personal level, I am extremely excited. As part of one of my past portfolios, I lived in Guyana for all of 2 weeks. And for me, it's a tremendous country. You can really feel the vibrance of the people. Guyanese are very, very industrious. And I want to see if we can just help change, given the economic trajectory that Guyana has, in some small way that can lead to maybe a bigger way. That is something that I'm definitely excited about investing our energy in doing.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Esther Sobers brings us the top stories coming out of the magistrates' courts in today's edition of Crime and Punishment.
Marian Darby made her second court appearance before the Georgetown Magistrate Courts today. The 25-year-old woman is accused of attempted murder of a police constable and the possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. Darby's attorney requested bail for his client, citing several regional cases where persons were granted bail on similar charges. The magistrate rejected the lawyer's bail application and remanded Darby to prison until May 30th. And Dwayne McFarley, a musician, appeared before Georgetown Magistrate Courts, charged with possession of 9 grams of cannabis. It is alleged that he had the cannabis in his possessions on May 19, 2018 at Aubrey Barker Road for the purpose of trafficking. McFarley denied the allegations. According to him, he was searched by ranks but nothing was found. He was released on $35,000 bail and is expected to return to court on June 25th. 2018. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Coming up after the break, PSA responded to over 3,000 OSHA violations, and parents evict 30-year-old son.
You know, I'm tired telling you, stop thief electricity. Don't shush me. You're going to kill yourself and burn down people out. Stop, I'm telling you. Stop. This man don't hear you know. Hiya go. Look, I fed up with this stupidness, eh? I gonna fix this one here once and for all. Hello, GPL? Here now, I got a big problem wrong here. They got this chap who continuing to do this. Alright, Skipper, you are under arrest for stealing the electricity.
How we can live now?
People, stealing electricity is dangerous to life and property, and it is also against the law.
Guess what? It's the big one-week carnival sale happening right here inside the clearance from Monday, May the 21st to Friday, May the 25th. Come down and get all your gears for carnival right here. Amazing deals. I'm talking 25% off for both ladies and gents. Come down and enjoy 25% off Nike sneakers, Jordans, short pants, jerseys, jeans, hats, and everything you need to touch the road for carnival. Not forgetting you beautiful ladies out there. Come down and enjoy 25% off short pants, tops, jeans, short dresses, sandals, sneakers, and not forgetting clearance is the official outlet for you to come down and pick up your carnival t-shirts. Remember, the sale happens for 1 week. I'm talking from Monday the 21st of May to Friday the 25th of May. Come down and get all your carnival gears and deals right here at clearance. Always keeping you in style.
The Ministry of Public Health presents Health Expo 2018 under the theme Reaching for a Better Life with Good Health. Starting Wednesday, May 30th to Saturday, June 2nd at the Sophia Exhibition Center. Catch the big opening night ceremony on Wednesday 30th from 17 hours and gates open from 15 hours to 22 hours daily except on Friday, June 1st at 10 a.m. for school children. Enjoy free medical and dental checkups, blood pressure and diabetes testing, nutrition counseling, and many more. Admission is absolutely free and the entire family is invited. Don't miss out.
Welcome back. And now from news in the region, in Trinidad and Tobago. The head of the Public Services Association says his union has responded to over 3,000 breaches of the Occupational Safety and Health Act. CNews has more.
You will see a document that is good, well balanced. It deals with health, safety issues, and welfare issues.